everyone, today I'll be reviewing again the Venom movie, and recently Venom just available on Netflix in Canada, and immediately this movie started trending #1. And I suppose people who didn't see this movie, they're finally checking it out, or some people like me who have seen this movie at least 5 times, seeing it again because you can get enough from this movie, because this movie was so awesome. I personally loved this movie, but I see the critic, they didn't like this movie. When this movie came out, this movie made a huge flash. It's only sitting on Rotten Tomato 29%, but the audience, they always they seem to be love this movie. Is sitting on 82%, but it was on 90% when it came out. So normal people just love this movie, and this movie was a huge hit on box office. And I checked it today, it's made 856 million worldwide box office. It's more than Thor Ragnarok made at the box office. Do I think if this critic, they didn't give such a low rating for this movie, I think this movie could have made more, could have actually made billion. But because of this movie got such a low rating from the critic, it didn't make that $1 billion mark. I personally love this movie. What I love about this movie, 2 years ago, I still love same thing about this movie. What I didn't like back then, I still don't like about this movie. So I'll tell you what I didn't like back then. I don't like it. So first half an hour, still this movie, feels like after rewatching for the 5th time, it's a little slow. I wouldn't say it's waste of time, first half an hour, but it's still, it's just setting up the story, because Venom's supposed to be Spider-Man's enemy, but in this movie there is no Spider-Man, so they have to set up the story with Eddie Brock. So I do understand why they took time for character development in this movie, first half an hour, which is understandable. And so first half an hour, I thought, especially the first half an hour, only the first half an hour, the tone is very uneven. Sometimes it's become very serious, sometimes it's horror aspect, and sometimes it was just so boring. And so these are the part I didn't like first time. Now what I like about this, love about this, I should not love about this movie, because once Eddie Brock comes contact with the Venom, this movie becomes so entertaining. You can say, first half an hour so boring, but once they do contact with each other, this movie becomes non-stop entertaining, and I love those parts. That's why I keep watching this movie. It's so fun and so entertaining. Sometimes so funny, and it's a goofy fun, you know what I mean? It's a goofy movie, and you have to accept that. And that's what people love about this movie, because Tom Hardy, and as the Venom, he was amazing in this movie. He was amazing as the Eddie Brock, but he was even awesome as the Venom once he became that. And their back and forth talk is so funny, so interesting, and it's so good, when you watch it, you feel it. Yes, I like it about it. And although I guess I forgot to mention what I didn't like. One thing about this movie I still didn't like is Michelle Williams. How many times she has got nominated for Oscar? She's one of the best actors out there. Obviously, she's a very good actress, but for some reason she did not fit in this movie, and her wig was awful. Why did they give her this wig? I don't understand. Because her wig just does look awful after watching it so many times. And they have zero chemistry, it's true, with she has zero chemistry with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy doesn't have good chemistry with any actress. If you've seen his movie, that's how his movies are. I never seen he has good chemistry with any actor. So this is not a huge deal breaker, because if you have seen his movie, that's how he is most of his movie. He's not a romantic actor. It's just a anti-hero type, I guess, what he was in this movie. But one thing though, who have seen Tom Hardy's most movies, I will say the comedy he did in this movie was quite funny. I found he never done this kind of role before, I suppose, and still he gave his 100%, because this guy is what this movie work. Also, this movie's action scenes were quite good, where nobody gives credit. Some of the action scenes they're not a special effect. They're actually real stunt. You can see it. They're not on green screen. They're doing this stunt on street. So that is like really good about this movie. And also some of the action scene, as I said, the motor chase, that one is really good action scene choreographed. Also the one in his apartment, and the one he was running on the street. All these scenes were really well done. Because end of the day, whatever the critics said, if this movie didn't have this aspect, why would people watch it over and over? You know what I mean? Why I'm watching it over and over? I can watch and many other movies, but I choose to watch this again for the 5th time. This movie just worth my time. That's it. End of the day, this movie worth my time. I would watch it 5 more times. That's how it is. So I'm really sad this Venom 2 has a pushback for this pandemic time. So I'm really sad about that. But if you're thinking to rewatch it, just watch it. Who cares what people say? I love this movie. I think most people do too. And as a someone who does movie critic, do I think this movie has some problem? It does. As I said, the first act is so slow and uneven tone, but the second half and the last act is quite interesting. That it grab audience attention, and when once Venom become like full like a Eddie Broken Venom on screen will I forgot to mention the one that he takes out all the SWAT teams. That scene was also good too. Yeah, some of the action scenes were really good. This movie isn't like boring by any means. It's definitely entertaining, I must say. It's better than Spider-Man 3, I think. And as always, the main reason anybody would love this movie is Tom Hardy, and he's the center for this movie. So when I hope the goofiness for Venom movie, they keep it for Venom 2. This is my wish list. Because I think that's the part I like, this movie being goofy. I don't want serious Venom movie, unfortunately. I don't. I know some critic wants it. But does it really matter what they want? It's for us, audience. We're the one who's watching this movie over and over. So our opinion matter most, I think. And how many? And like, so end of the day, I don't want this movie to be serious, Venom 2, and like this movie I still would watch it 5 more times, as I said in this review. And if you think you think if it's the Venom 2 should be serious, let me know in the comment, because I want to know what people want from Venom 2. I definitely want the goofiness to stay in Venom 2, but this movie has carnage. Woody Harrelson, he shows up end of the Venom 1. He's an amazing actor, obviously, but I have to see how he does. And then Venom 2 will be directed by Andy Serkis. I don't know how serious director he is. I just hope it stays goofy. And that was my thought for Venom, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my review, subscribe and please leave your comment. What do you think about this movie? And please take care.